Hi, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyper Stamper, and this is a Christmas journal that I am so excited about. It's really different. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do another one like it, but stay tuned. Just a reminder that everything in here is antique and vintage, Christmas themed ephemera, and there's no digital or commercial products with the exception of 2 pieces of cardstock that I had to use, and you'll see why. And that there's no tariffs on any of my journals. They are exempt, and I use courier services instead of postal, so it'll get to you nice, safe, and sound. And look at this cover. This is a 1923 record book. It's called The Christmas Book of Records, Little Tots. And it's just got this fabulous image of Santa on the cover. That's original. There's a little tear here from where somebody, I guess, put a price tag on it, but it doesn't matter. It's wonderful. It had the grommets in here, so I added some red ribbon and some green crochet there. And now let me show you what I've done with the inside, because each one, it was 4 sleeves, and in each sleeve there would have been a record. So this one here came with no records in it. But I did have some of these from a previous vintage lot that I had. And look at this. How perfect is that, that these two get to live together? They were not bought together, but they are now together. And the little children here playing with their Christmas toys. It's fabulous. So that is in the first pocket to make it true to its original state. Now, I've cut out all of these pieces of vintage crochet here because I thought they looked like snowflakes. And I did want to leave at least 2 of the original images in this little book. So we've got the little girl here watering her poinsettia flowers. And then over here, we've got the little boy raking the garden. Okay, so what do we have next? This is a beautiful vintage doily here as well. And then what I've done is in each of the 3 remaining pockets, I've put a mini journal. So this is the first one here. We've got this here from 1913, this beautiful little Christmas postcard. And it's on an antique page called A Christmas Carol. We all know that one. And this wonderful 1930s Christmas card here. Look at that fantastic Victorian image there and this beautiful image inside. It's just fabulous. And then this is one of the pieces that my friend Stacy sent to me, and it is a vintage transfer for cross stitching. And it's all backwards, but it's awesome. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, well, that's the same backwards as forwards. What do you think of that? And they've got snowman, gingerbread man, partridge in a pear tree. Oh, and then the little candle test piece down here. And you can see where the opposite page that went over has bled a bit onto there, which is kind of fun. I don't know if you could just hear my cat meowing. And then in here is a vintage playing card, this beautiful Victorian woman skating down the canal with her presents. I love it. And then I fussy cut this out of a 1950s magazine, a little Christmas craft. You'll see that throughout. Hand stamped some pine cones. This is a 1927 catalog page. And the reason I have that is these people still had their horses and harnesses, so they sold all the different things for them. And I thought that was great for a sleigh ride, a horse-driven sleigh ride. And that's on another antique page, One Night in Bethlehem, A Christmas Story. This is a wonderful 1940s children's page here and here. And then this is that great 1950s ideals of Christmas, and just a really fun little Christmas music sheet and candle and holly. It's just beautiful. And then there's another little Christmas poem there. And here's a Christmas story and a music sheet on the back. This came from a vintage nature book, Hammond's Book of Nature. And it's the cardinal, of course, which is my favorite Christmas bird. And then you open it up. That was on the opposite page. I didn't want to lose it. And then I just put some antique paper here for you to journal or put your own photos in. And on the other side is this beautiful, beautiful antique Christmas postcard. Look at all the gold on there, the beautiful scene. And there you can see the little family down here also going for a walk along the lake. This is from 1905. It's beautiful. Christmas lantern here, another children's story here, and there you go. The hardest part of making this journal was lining up things that would show through these pretty round windows. So I lined them all up so you could do just that. You can see the Christmas decorations here from another 1950s magazine. And then again, these beautiful doilies that look like snowflakes to me. So let's look at booklet number 2. This is again a early 1950s magazine with the crafts, and I actually have this exact little Santa here made out of pipe cleaners, and I hang it on my tree every year. And wouldn't it be fun if my grandmother was looking at this magazine and saw that craft and that's how she made it? Oh, I love thinking things like that. And then here's another couple of Christmas crafts that they made back in the early days of the mid-century. And then this is a vintage children's book page. This gentleman here is collecting branches of holly. And look at this early 1900s page. These Victorian women going tobogganing in full skirt hats. That's just what they did, not wear pants. So that is the Bob crew there. And on the opposite side, they are skating. And sometimes if there was a good wind, they would have the sails and skate with the sails. That's pretty cool. Vintage wrapping paper from the 50s. And then this is also from a 1950s book. There's the New Year's Baby. And on the back, I didn't want to cover that because it's adorable. So I just made a little flip here so you could journal on there. Oops, let me put them in so you can see the baby's head. There we go. Another vintage children's page here, looking up the chimney for Santa Claus. And then this is a vintage fabric here that I turned into a belly band because it's beautiful deep red. And here's a great 1950s Christmas cookies page. I actually really like how they've laid that all out. It's beautiful. And then on the other side, another beautiful Christmas article on open house meals. There we go. And this is a really fun piece also. That is from 1960, exactly. Customs of Christmas, a great crossword puzzle here. And this is another 1960s page. Isn't that great? Santa and his sled. And here's another 1940s snowman story here. And a great plate. We've got these men going through the mountainside with their dog sled. So a great winter scene. A vintage 1968 Christmas seals. And then this here came from an antique book 99 years ago. Merry Christmas. So this book was a gift, one of the best gifts you could get. It's a book. And then Old St. Nick there. So that is book number 2. And then don't forget, you can always add your own things into these pockets as well. And then here I fussy cut this again out of that 1950s magazine, how to make Christmas doll clothes here, vintage doily, and some little sprig branches here. And so I just did that one over here. Okay, another snowflake doily and some vintage wrapping paper from the 50s. And that came from an antique book. And inside, I have this wonderful Night Before Christmas page. Over here is a 1970s Christmas sticker. And some skates, and that is a 1927 advertisement for gloves, winter gloves, big gift as well. And then this is a wonderful 1930s Christmas card. It's small, but I love the design of it. And you know, if you follow me, I am a big fan of Art Deco font. So that is wonderful. Here is a beautiful red piece of sewing tracing paper. You can see the perforations there. And I put another Easter or Christmas seal stamp on there from 1966, that one. I've got a few years. And this chapter here is called Christmas from an antique book. Another lovely page down here from a children's book from the 20s, Christmas Morning. And there's a catalog page again for these awesome boots that I want. I want to go back in time, buy these boots, and then come back to the future, or maybe just stay back then. And then I didn't want to put anything on the back again because it's fun on the back. 1932 Paris, France Almanac page. And let's see what they were doing in Paris in 1932 for Christmas. They had this wonderful article here, a fun little cartoon up here, and then down here is another one of these awesome, this one is the Christmas parade from 1930. So just really, really cool. You can throw that in Google Translate and really get a feel for what they were doing pre-war in France. Now look at the font on here. This is from Tony's Scrapbook, which is a really popular, I've seen a few Tony scrapbooks from the 30s. This one is just wonderful. And this is before they had computers to figure this out, right? The Christmas stocking, so the font or the type is all done in the shape of a stocking. Love that. And this is from 1950s Children's Things to Make and Do book. And then here is the top of, I've been using the sides of the box for different things in my journals and the bottom, but this is the top. And so what I did is I made it into another little mini book here. So a little journaling book. And then on the front, I've got a pocket And it looks like the shepherds here that, from the Christmas nativity scene. And then to go with the Flinch box, I've got the Flinch cards, and I chose 2 and 5 for December 25. And then this is another one of Stacy's Maple Grove Dairy receipts because it's got red in it from Grand Rapids. And another 1959 Ideals plate. Look at that beautiful scenery. It actually is really vivid and beautiful. When you look close, you just can't tell if it's a painting or a photograph. It's very cool. Little boy going through the snow, night before Christmas here. And, oh, I just love that. And some vintage fabric here, another snowflake doily piece here, and this antique Happy New Year postcard. And this one is also pre-1910. I couldn't find the exact date of it, I just know that. And then another 1930s Christmas card, and this one has sparkle on it, which was a big deal. Again, that would have taken a lot of work to do that. You can see the sparkle. And then, oh, look at the 3 angels inside from Annie and Jim. And I love it. On the other side, I've got this great children's book page piece here, the snowman and Mama. And then a children's coloring book page, Christmas tree. And that is from a vintage Christmas puzzle. This is Santa, just near the end of the story there. Oh, look at that. And we'll put this one back in here. And then that brings us to the end of this really unique and fun journal. So again, this piece here is not vintage, and this red piece is not vintage, but everything else is antique and vintage. I just love the back here. So I hope you love this as much as I loved making it. It's in my Etsy shop now, hyperstamper.etsy.com. If it's not in the shop, it means it is sold. But please subscribe, leave me a comment, come back soon. Bye for now.